everybody, this is Big Stack Numismatics. Welcome to all my fellow coin collectors out there. It is Saturday, November 27th, 2021, and I hope that everyone out there is having a fantastic weekend. And for those of you that celebrated Thanksgiving a couple days ago, I hope you had a great opportunity to visit with family and relax and all of that kind of business. But I have this really, really cool U.S. coin to show you here. Of course, I'm trying to collect as many different types of U.S. coins that have been in circulation, and this is actually the smallest one that the U.S. Mint has ever produced. This is the 3-cent silver piece. 6-sided star with a shield on it. This one, of course, from 1852. Here's the details. PCGS considers this to be in AU55 condition. And the reverse features the Roman numeral 3. And folks, this coin is very, very small. Some details on this coin. They featured the 3-cent piece in U.S. Mint production from 1851 through 1873. And there's two different varieties, and this one here in 1852 is, believe it or not, of the larger variety. From 1851 to 1853, they made these at 75% silver and 25% copper, and the total weight of this coin comes in at under 1 gram, 0.8 grams, or 4/5 of a gram. The reason they made it 75% silver is they wanted it to be still worth, money, that silver value. They wanted these to be in circulation. And the reason that these were even produced was in 1851, postage rates had dropped from 5 cents to 3 cents, and they thought this would be easier to make a coin that could fit that bill, and of course come up with another way of fractional currency, right? 2 years later, in 1854, they increased the amount of silver to 90%, but they actually decreased the overall weight. So in 1854 through 1873, these came in at 7.5 tenths of a gram. So less overall weight, more silver content. Okay, real quick, let's take a look at the mintages for this particular coin. Again, in 1851, they started off with 5 million of these from Philadelphia. It's another 720,000 from New Orleans. And then the year that I have here, 18,663,500 from Philadelphia. And that, of course, is more than any other point in the mintage or the minting of these coins. So it's far easier to find in 1852 than any other year, of course, out there. Before we go too much further, I just want to give you a comparison. I do have this this dime right here, and so I'm going to see if I can't put these side by side so you can get an idea. All right, so there you go. The 3-cent silver is 14 millimeters in diameter, whereas the dime is 18 millimeters, so not terribly different, but definitely smaller. The big difference comes in the thickness. You have 0.6 millimeters of thickness for the 3-cent piece and a millimeter of thickness for the dime. And of course, overall, the 3-cent coin here, I mentioned 4/5 of a gram, whereas the dime is 2.5 grams. So a really tiny piece. I'm trying to imagine walking around with some of those in my pocket and how hard it would be to keep track of those. This was considered kind of like the nickname of these coins was the fish scale because of it's so tiny. All right, let's take a quick look over here at the PCGS cert verification page, and you'll see here book value right now has gone up recently, according to this, $225 retail. There's 107 in this condition at PCGS for this year, and 1,742 and higher. And there again, the mintage of 18,663,500 let's take a look at the price history. I think this is fascinating. Price history for this goes back into the 90s, and it hovered anywhere between $150 and it spiked down, below $100 for just a little bit, and then it's climbed up ever since. When I purchased this coin, I paid $170 for it, which was pretty normal for that price in the year, even from 2015 through 2020. But in recent months, just this year, it's climbed all the way up to $225. So it's kind of nice to have a coin that's got an upward trend, right? I've not seen a lot of these, and of course, I wanted to get a nice specimen. I have to use my loupe to really enjoy it because of how small it is. But let's take another look here. I'll see if I can zoom in just a little bit here. See what that does. Now, for those of you that know your coin history, this tiny 3-cent piece is not the only 3-cent silver that's out there. The U.S. Mint also made 3-cent nickels in the mid-1860s. And the reason is because people were hoarding silver coins due to the Civil War. And so they needed that fractional silver out there. And so they came up with another way of getting fractional U.S. dollars, basically. So like for transactions and all that kind of business. And that was in the 1860s. And so they still made these as well. I'll go back to my vintage thing here real quick. In 1866, they weren't making very many of these. Boy, 8,000 in 65, 22,000 in 1866. 1867, they made 4,000. But I know from seeing the charts that the 3-cent nickels, they made millions of those. So not sure why they preferred one over the other, but there you have it. So yeah, we have this really cool U.S. coin. I've wanted one of these for quite a while, and so to have one in this nice condition feels pretty good. And again, tiny little piece. Amazing. And it's interesting also for me to imagine the hoarding of silver during the Civil War. Doesn't that just seem like a common trend? Times are uncertain, and people just knew that, boy, it might be nice to hold on to the silver. And by the way, going back to why they made this in 75% silver initially, is that I think they were worried that they didn't want people melting these down for the silver, and so they wanted to make it worthwhile to circulate, and that it's actually got silver in it, but not worthwhile to melt these down. But there you go. That's all I've got for you today. This is a really cool piece, though, and I'm happy to have this into my collection. So that's all I got for you. This is Big Stack Numismatics. I hope you're all having a fantastic weekend, and I'll be back at you real soon with something else. Have a good one.